Put your heart into supersizing and growing your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and our idiom today is to put your heart into something, and in this case, into growing and building and supersizing your business. Well, this idiom's been around since, they're not sure, they think it's been around since people believe it can be traced back to ancient times, when people believed that the heart was the center and the holder and the place that our emotions came from. And the most common of which, the most powerful of which is, of course, love. Now, there's no specific date or documentation as to the history and when it was first used in this metaphorical sense, but it's been around for centuries, so we all hear this a lot. And it leads to me and one of my favorite decision-making tools, which I learned through a lot of not necessarily positive, great experiences, both in business and in other areas and aspects of my life. But since our heart has been considered a long time the seat for our emotions, where our emotions come from, although I don't think that is to be true, necessarily true nowadays. I think metaphysically and scientifically, they've discovered that that's not how it works. But we still believe that, right? We still feel things inside of us, like in our hearts. Why? Because our heart's inside of us as well. But it reminds us to use not just our thinking and our intellect when it comes to different areas and aspects of our life, relationships, business, our daily experiences, right? As well as making sure that we're checking in with our emotions and that we have a feel for different things when it comes to making decisions and making choices, hiring people, partnering with people, etc. Which leads to one of my favorite decision-making tools, which I have this great graphic for: head, heart, and intuition. Why? Because whenever I've made a decision, and I've actually gone back and reviewed my life in different areas, especially in the area of business, but whenever I made a decision where I didn't consider my heart or my intuition or either, and I just was making a, hey, this looks good on paper, these numbers make sense decision, and didn't check in with my heart or my gut, my intuition, I have had bad things happen. And I'm not talking a little bit bad, really bad things happen. And so I've learned that this is actually one of my favorite criteria for decision making and deciding among alternatives, among choices, among opportunities, on solutions to problems and what to do in any given situation. And now it's automatic for me to check in with each one of the options that I'm facing. Well, how does this look on paper? What objective things and measures can we look at? What do we know for sure? That's my thinking and my intellect. But then I have to tap into, well, how do I emotionally feel about this particular solution? Because sometimes the one that looks best on paper, there's just something that feels off about it. And again, I think that our heart and our intuition are where our feelings come from. I think more our intuition and that sixth sense that it's hard to quantify. So that's one of my favorite tools. This idiom also reminds me that it's important, and people can argue all they want, but I've been involved in businesses I'm passionate about and I love, and I've been involved in businesses because I've been involved in offline before I even came online. I was involved having an ownership part or percentage or wholly owned company in 27 different businesses, and all those, not all of those, but several of those in different industries. Did a lot in real estate, a lot in manufacturing, but other industries as well. And I learned that the businesses that I was passionate about and loved, and some of them, of course, that's emotional and intuitive, whether we feel good about them or not. But there were some businesses we were involved in that it broke my heart. Every day it was sucking the soul and the life out of me. And those are the businesses that I chose not to participate in anymore. Are they awesome businesses? Do people make millions and billions of dollars in them? Yes. But my psyche and my personality and my emotions and my core values didn't feel right about those businesses. Yeah, were we adding value to people? Absolutely. Were we changing people's lives? Absolutely. But did it feel yucky in some aspect? Yes. And so those are the businesses that I could no longer choose to participate in. And the other thing this idiom reminds me of, all of our businesses, whatever business you're involved in, and our lives as well, never go from this straight line from where we are to what we want, right? Straight up to what we want. Wouldn't that be, no, it would be boring if it did, but let's pretend it would be awesome. So what this idiom reminds me of, to put my heart into things, It reminds me to learn from the low points and the mistakes and the failures, and make sure I'm learning the lesson there, as well as taking a breather and celebrating the successes and the things that go well, so that we can apply and do more of what's going well, and we can learn from the things that aren't, and grow and build and supersize our business in a more positive, less stressful way that we can love and feel good about. So I would love to know your experience with this particular idiom. I definitely have said put your muscle into it, put your heart into it. You get out of things what you put into them, etc. So love to know your take on this. Share in the comments below, and I will of course meet you tomorrow. Another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? If it's known and documented, and how might you use it in your business today? I'm sharing how I use it. How might you use it? I'm just hoping that initiates some thoughts and ideas. All right, have a great day.